Hello and welcome, this is Oldmanpoole. I'm going to jump into another Dominaria draft league here on Magic Arena today. I got a lot of good feedback from you guys on the last video saying that you do want to see arena content, so thanks for letting me know about that. It's good so that I can kind of target my videos for whatever you guys actually want to see. And yeah, I love drafting, so as long as I can be doing drafting, I really don't care too much about the platform. But yeah, let's jump right in. I'm also going to be doing a pack opening at the end of this. I have a bunch of packs, mostly Dominaria, but I'm excited to see what's in those as well. This pack is pretty nuts. I kind of wish that I open this in sealed, because the blue in here is quite good. Coldwater Snapper's powerful, I think Deep Freeze is fine, and those are the worst of the cards. We've got Karn's Temporal Sundering, which is a pretty good payoff, but you do need a lot of legendaries for it. Adeliz, which is great in the Wizard's deck. Merfolk Trickster, and in Bolus's Clutches. I think we're just going to take in Bolus's Clutches. This is one of the most powerful cards in the set. Mind controls are great. The fact that it's not just creatures, but you can take troublesome permanents from your opponents is also really good. It's a single colored card. I think the Adeliz is probably similar in power level when you are in the blue-red deck, but first pick, we're going to take in Bolus's Clutches and be pretty happy about that. I also want to say thanks to everyone that has subscribed to the channel. I really appreciate it. It helps me gain visibility on YouTube, helps other people find the channel, and I've had, I don't know, a fantastic amount of feedback from you guys lately, so I really appreciate that. Great comments, thanks for liking videos, you guys are really the best. If you haven't joined the community yet, definitely do so. Feel free to post comments if you've got better picks, better plays, whatever else, and definitely subscribe. As of recording this video, I am at 499 subscribers, which means you could be the lucky 500. Maybe. By the time this goes up, it probably will have changed, but right around there, someone's going to be the lucky 500. Could be you. Alright, back to the draft. Here, what? I think I'm taking Memorial to Genius. This is pretty close, though. There's Llanowar Elves, which is powerful, Gitu Chronicler. Memorial to Genius is the most powerful of the blue cards. I think realistically this is probably between Llanowar Elves, Memorial Genius, and Jousting Lance. I really have been impressed with Jousting Lance. It has overperformed a lot. You do want to be a little bit more on the proactive side of the spectrum, whereas in Bolus's Clutches frequently encourages a little bit more controlling of a deck, but I think they definitely could be played together and be fine. Here I'm just going to take Memorial Genius, though. It's on color. I think this is very, very good. As long as you get enough playables, having these tapped spell lands is very, very good. So let's take that. Ooh. So, kind of interesting again. There's a Deep Freeze, which I think is about as bad as removal comes in the set, but still removal, and on color. Gideon's Reproach is better, Llanowar Elves is better, Sapling Migration is better, Goblin Barrage is better, and I guess Skizzix is probably better, so I think I am going to branch into a second color here. I just want to take removal. Goblin Barrage is powerful. I think it's unlikely Adeliz will come back around, which means someone else is going to at least be trying for blue-red. Yeah, I'm really not sure. This is a powerful pack. There's a lot of signals going different ways. I'm kind of leaning towards Sapling Migration as well, just because I feel like the green-blue decks can be very, very good, and Sapling Migration is... I think it's... maybe better than Llanowar Elves. It maybe depends on your deck. If you're trying to ramp, I think Llanowar Elves might be a little bit better. If you're trying to do sort of the mid-range Sapling shenanigans, if you have any synergies, Migration gets better. But I think I'm going to take Goblin Barrage. I think this is just the most powerful card. Removal is removal, and this is not premium, but pretty good. Alright, Goblin Barrage, I think. So now we have Gitu Journey Mage, which would encourage us to go maybe into Wizards a little bit more. We've got Memorial to Unity. If we'd gone into green, that's quite good, for the same reason that Memorial to Genius is. I think Memorial to Genius is a little bit better than Memorial to Unity, although it's pretty close. Might be deck dependent as well. There's also a Deathbloom Thallid here. I think I'm going to take the Journey Mage. We also had Fire Intervention in that pack, which is perfectly playable. There's a Keldon Raider and a Jousting Lance, also a late Grow from the Ashes. I think I'm going to take Jousting Lance here. Like I said, this card performs quite well in just about any aggressive deck. It's got a little bit of extra synergy with Goblin Barrage at this point too. I like Keldon Raider, but I feel like these frequently come around later than I think they should. And I think Jousting Lance might be something we need more. Divination versus another Keldon Raider. There's a Thallid Omnivore here, which is also maybe a little bit later than it should be. Kind of lean towards Keldon Raider, although I do like having one or two divinations. Really kind of depends on how proactive we are. Keldon Raider is a pretty nice beater. If we're going to end up being just defensive with like Goblin Barrage, working our way up towards Embolus's Clutches, then Divination's probably better. I'm going to take Divination. I think, again, I have more chances against Keldon Raiders later in my experience. There's still some like reasonable black coming around. There's Opt versus Syncopate here. I think that given that we're blue-red and there's like if we do manage to pick up an Adeliz, for instance, Opt I think gains a lot of power there. Syncopate's nice though, it's probably better in a controlling deck, and Adeliz isn't wheeling. What are the odds we open another one? Maybe I should take Syncopate. I think that's a close pick though. Okay, we got a Gitu Chronicler back. I do think it's better in Divination. I do like Divination quite a bit, but we already have one, and the Chronicler is just great early and great late. I feel like we're pretty okay on our colors. I'm getting the impression we're going for a little bit kind of a slower blue-red deck, in which case I want the Coldwater Snapper. Radiant Lightning is a great sideboard card. I love picking up one of these. Keldon Warcaller would be good if we're aggressive. But Coldwater Snapper's also impressed me. This is a very difficult card for a lot of decks just to interact with. A lot of times when I'm playing kind of a proactive beatdown strategy, my opponent just lands a Snapper, I'm just like, oh, like there's literally nothing I can do. I just can't attack past this. I've got a good removal spell in hand, and the Snapper's just laughing at me. So, let's take that. Opt came around. Not really on board for Slinvoda. Very, very expensive, but it is a powerful effect. I played it once or twice in the format, and it's been okay, but I don't know if this deck wants it so far. And Opt's a good pickup. Deep Freeze is good. Yeah, Deep Freeze is okay. Deep Freeze is fine. And we got an Arcane Flight back to go along with our Coldwater Snapper. Definitely pick that up. Okay, so I feel like we're doing pretty well over the first couple of picks. Ooh, wow. Man, I've seen more Barracks in this set than I think I've seen any other Mythic. Maybe even any other Rare. This is going to be the third time I can pick up Barracks. And I'm pretty sure it is the pick here. Valduk's good with Jousting Lance. Probably would be the pick if Barracks wasn't in the pack, but the 4/4 flyer for 4 is just great, and kicking it up to 7 is also fantastic. Let's take Barracks. Also, it has a really, really scary sounding animation, or not animation, I don't know. Sound effect? There's probably a better word for it than that. So here we have Tempest Djinn, which is definitely worth considering. I was going to say we're hedging a little bit more towards blue, but I'm not sure that's true. Barracks Bloodwings, double red. Gitu Chronicler's double red a lot of the time. I'm not sure Gitu Journey Mage is even going to make the cut in this deck. So it's probably between Tempest Djinn and Skittering Surveyor. Skittering Surveyor is very, very good. Manages to fix your lands. It is good when you're trying to hit your land drops later in the game. It can provide a bit of a speed bump. Also, quite good, obviously, if we find something we need to splash later on. So I think this is actually quite close, which is funny, because at the beginning of the format I would have just slammed Tempest Djinn. I think I'm going to take it here, but Skittering Surveyor is... This is a close pick. I think we are going to take the Djinn, though. Ooh, so probably another Chronicler out of this pack. We've got Syncopate. Don't really love Flame of Keld, especially given how little red we actually have. But Gitu Chronicler's nice. We'd really love to see some like Sheevan Fires. We're kind of light on removal. Embolus's Clutches counts. Deep Freeze sort of counts. But yeah, I would like to see just a little more removal. We'll take the Chronicler here. Another Deep Freeze is an option. And pretty much nothing else here. I guess we're going to take that. There are some good cards. Dark Bargain's powerful. Grow from the Ashes is good. I do kind of want to make a Lich's Mastery deck work at some point. That seems sweet. I haven't really figured out how to do that, but it does seem sweet. Yeah, let's take a Deep Freeze. Wizard's Retort versus Radiating Lightning versus Rampaging Cyclops versus Haphazard Bombardment. Probably gonna take the Bombardment here. I actually have seen this card play fairly effectively. There are some decks that it's a little bit too slow for, but I like it. And I think we're playing a slower style deck here. Yeah, Blue-Red's often aggressive. I don't think we're all that aggressive, so I'm gonna take the Bombardment here. Wizard's Retort's fine. Counter spells, or especially double blue, is a kind of whatever in the main deck a lot of the time, but this is a slow format. Ravaging Cyclops is fine. I do like Radiating Lightning as a sideboard card, but we're just going to take the Sweet Bomb. And probably a way to memory here. Keep up. So we may have to start picking up, because we haven't seen some removal, some more like early plays. But halfway through pack 2, I think we can still afford to take some greedy stuff. We can't end up being too top end, because we will get run over. Wow, Blink of an Eye is a great pickup here. This is quite late in the pack. Yeah, seems solid. Another Syncopate, another Journey Mage. Probably just want Journey Mage. I don't really like the Keldon Overseer. Even in aggressive decks, 3-1 haste is not great in this format, and the kicker is quite expensive. Yeah, I guess I'll take a Journey Mage. The extra damage isn't, like, fantastic, but it's not really a downside either. Fervent Strike, it's the only red card. Divination, well, I do think that blue and red are pretty open. I'm happy for the spot we found ourselves in. A Rescue, I guess, is a sideboard card. I don't think either of these other cards will ever play, so... We want 2 Rescues? I guess if someone's playing like a really crazy greedy mana base, maybe we'd play Seismic Shift. I don't think so, though. Unwind, also a sideboard card. Ooh, wow, alright. So this pack is also loaded. We've seen some great packs over the course of this draft. Verdant Force and Sarah Angel are both great, not in our colors. Icy Manipulator is probably just going to be the pickup here, given that it is colorless, very, very powerful removal, and we need removal, so I'm happy to have that. If this wasn't in the pack, Academy Drake and Coldwater Snapper would both be in contention, as well as Skittering Surveyor. We don't have anything we're splashing right now, which means that something like the Drake may actually beat out Skittering Surveyor at this point, but kind of a moot point because we're taking Icy. Here, a much, much less impressive pack. We have, I guess, Champion of Flame with, like, Jousting Lance. Frenzied Rage. Yeah, there's not much here. We could take a 3rd Divination. I don't think we're really going to play that. Like Skirk Prospector. Just as a speed bump against some kind of crazy decks. I'll also take a Homerate Explorer. What's our curve looking like? Not too bad. Homerate Explorer is a little bit slow, but maybe we could just use a few more creatures. Yeah, this pack's not exciting. I think I'm gonna take the Explorer. Divination's a better card, but again, I can't really see us playing 3. Ooh, okay, so here's where we really wish we had a Skittering Surveyor, because Eviscerate would be just a great, great pickup. I'm not really unhappy with the picks we made previously that led us away from that, but that would be a payoff for it. We could take it anyway here, and just be kind of miserly in slower matchups. That's probably okay. We also take Keldon Warcaller, just a 2-2 in a deck that needs some more early interaction. We actually might quite want a Warcaller at some point. Yeah, I think I'm going to take that. Eviscerate's definitely a more powerful card. I don't think we're going to get good fixing for it at this point, though. Oh wow, another one. Ugh, if only we had a Skittering Surveyor. There's also Rona in here, which is good. I think we're still just going to stick to the game plan, though, and pick up another Keldon Warcaller. A little bit rough, though. There's a Befuddle, a Divination, and Run Amok. I like Run Amok a lot if you're aggressive. I think this deck is a little bit slower than that. I think we'll take Servant. We'll take Servant, actually, with Icy Manipulator is kind of a wombo, isn't it? And it's a 2-drop. Sure, let's take the Servant. Here we have Hinterland Harbor. No reason to splash, really, though. And another Coldwater Snapper. So take the Snapper. And this last pack has been not nearly as impressive as our first couple were, but our first couple of packs were quite good, so can't complain too much. We can take another Opt over Second Will Take Servant, even with the cool synergy with Icy Manipulator. If you have 3 of these in play, you just like tap down your opponent's whole board. Seems pretty cool. Let's take Opt, though. Ooh, wow. That's a great pickup. Cloud Reader Sphinx, literally the last pick we could have gotten it, and I am super happy to see it. Another Snapper. We have 3 so far. I guess I'm gonna take a Lava Runner. Again, maybe a potential sideboard card. Not something I'm looking to play, but I don't think that 3 Coldwater Snappers are gonna do it either. Diligent Excavator, also not a bad sideboard card. Just a 1-3 sometimes is pretty important, especially given that we are trying to play for the late game of this deck. Okay. Well, I think the draft went pretty reasonable. Yeah. So definitely do want to look at 17 lands here. What are we at right now, all told, in the deck? Probably about 45. 46 it looks like. So 6 cuts at least. Is there anything up here that we really need to play? Diligent Excavator, is that better than any of our 2-drops? Might be better than Keldon Warcaller given what we're trying to do. The Historic Milling effect, I guess maybe matters once in a blue moon. But I really don't think we're beating down trying to win with that, so the 1-3 I think is probably just better. Warcaller, nothing here, I don't think that's gonna make it anymore. Fervent Strike, not great on defense. I think I do like Arcane Flight. Jousting Lance is kind of interesting. How many creatures do we actually end up having? 13? We may cut a couple more. Might cut like one Cloud, or one Coldwater Snapper. Don't think we want Hummer Explorer, baseline. Maybe we can get away without another Keldon Warcaller too. So when is Jousting Lance going to be good? Not all that often. We're trying to win off like Bolus's Clutches, some good flyers. Even though this card is good, I'm not sure this is the deck for it, actually. Alright, what are we down to now? I wish there was a slightly better way to view this. 42. Like I said, definitely do want 17 lands. Maybe we cut a Snapper. Cut down on the top end just a little bit. We could cut a Divination, especially if we're already playing like Weight of Memory. Maybe that's just a little bit too clunky. So that has us at 23. So this could be just the deck at this point. Yeah, I think we're just gonna run this. I do like our position. We have a lot of good sideboard cards. We can kind of shift the deck either slower and more defensive, or I guess slower, and a little bit greedier, or more defensive and interact with my opponent's early plays if that's what they're going for. But I think we've got a pretty nice setup here. Definitely have a lot of power in these cards. Yeah, okay, I think we're gonna run it out. Blue-red in Bolus's Clutches. Well, I'm pretty happy with the deck. I think it came together quite well. I'm not sure if they've kind of retuned the way Magic Arena does drafts, or if I've just been a little bit luckier than I was when I first started. But it does feel like my first 2 or 3 arena drafts were all really, like, messy, and they've been a little bit better since then, so I'm thankful for that. Whether that's luck or, like, premeditated by the designers, either way I'm happier. This hand's pretty bad. I wonder if Arcane Flight should be in the main deck. It's really here because it synergizes so well with the turtle. Yeah, actually maybe that should have been cut. This hand just folds to a lot of things. If my opponent's slow, it has one of our bombs, it has lands. I think I'm going to vacuum in Dominaria, I'm going to keep. But this could be a fast game. My opponent plays like G2 Lava Runner, I'm just going to be like, oh, the game's already over. Okay, another land is definitely not what we're hoping to see, though. There's a very real possibility of flood, unfortunately. Okay, Skin Witch unkicked. I'm happy for that. Barracks is not a bad draw, certainly. I guess we should keep playing Islands, though, in case we want to play Tempest Gym next turn. Yeah, no play. We'll take 1 from the Skin Witch if that's what my opponent has in mind. Possibly have like a Wizard synergy here. But they may have just been playing defensively too. I think, even though you're much, much happier to kick a Skin Witch. Uh-oh. Maybe they're a little bit more on the beatdown. Uh-oh. So ordinarily this opening would not scare me. Like, Demonic Vigors, kind of whatever, G2 Law Runner, unkicked Skin Witch. None of this really screams power. But I kind of feel like we're in danger of being beaten down. So I am glad that the Demonic Vigor was not something like the +2/+1 and Menace. That would have been a lot scarier. Okay. We're definitely going to play Barracks here. Obviously, it's cool to wait as long as we can, and this might just eat removal, but I think we do need to play something that affects the board here. Ooh. That was quite the animation. Does it always look like that? Maybe it has. Also, no hate, I just now realized the Barracks has 4 wings. Pretty cool, but yeah, totally did not catch that previously, despite the fact that we played it a bunch. Okay, my opponent did not have a good answer to Barracks, which is nice. So we could Weight of Memory here. We would overdraw, wouldn't we? No, wait. No, I guess not. So we play these 2, we're down to 5 cards in hand. No, then we draw 3. Because we just haven't played, like, anything. Maybe that's okay, though. We got a lot of lands. Maybe finding action is pretty important here. Yeah, I don't think that it's going to come down to us decking ourselves in this matchup, so I'm going to mill myself. Don't want to give my opponent any random extra synergies. Okay, so... No, we lost some good cards there. Not going to attack. And we'll discard an island. Okay, so next we can play Icy Manipulator and start tapping stuff down. We have In Bolus's Clutches, and my opponent's just got an astonishingly good card. Yeah, we're definitely gonna block here. If they have Run Amok, can't play around it well, period. They have Shock, that still's okay. Fungal Infection still works out okay. I think I'm gonna block the Lava Runner rather than Skin Witch. I guess it's slightly worse if they have... Okay, yeah, they have to Run Amok, it doesn't actually matter. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna be a hit. This is gonna be a hit. So this returns to Owner's Hand, I assume, right? Okay, down to 10. Okay. Another land. So we could opt and play Icy Manipulator, take 4, but then have In Bolus's Clutch plus Icy Manipulator online next turn. Let's opt, see if we find anything of value. Maybe. Oh. Well, maybe we just had some weird lag there. That's funny, I actually haven't seen a whole lot of lag in. So we could get back, I guess, a draw spell. It's a 1-3 though, which still blocks. Okay, I think we're going to top this. I don't think it's actually going to change our line here though. Play our Mountain, play Icy Manipulator. We are definitely going to remember to tap something. And that being the Cabal Paladin, probably. So if they have Historic play... Actually, if my opponent just like Memorials to War, that'd be kind of awkward. You can steal lands with this. It's just literally permanent. It's not very often that you see just straight permanent. I could take their Memorial to War and sack it and blow up their lands. Genius. Okay, we are remembering to use Icy. This card has been like my nemesis in the format. I have misplayed it so many, many times. Down to 6. I'm not loving our position. We kept kind of a greedy hand. Yeah, there's a Cloudreader Sphinx. Do we play that instead of In Bolus's Clutches? That still does a pretty good job of shoring up the board. Yeah, I think that's better. And then we still have this to answer like a really scary bomb. I think the Cloudreader Sphinx a fair amount. We definitely have a pretty sizable land advantage. We have an advantage of cards in hand. We just need to not die, which I think will often be the case with this deck. 2 Journey Mages. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's probably fine. Just more stuff that fills up the board. Really just don't want to hit lands. I think that's okay. And I guess we should play Memorial to Genius since we're going to use Icy rather than playing like the Chronicler here. And let's hope they don't have a way to kill this. Things are coming together. It's getting close. Things are coming together. Cabal Paladin's still dangerous just because it has the potential to do some direct damage to us. Okay, Vicious Offering. They're sacking Lava Runner. Fair enough. Okay. So that's, I mean, losing Cloudreader Sphinx is not great for us there, but on the other hand, it's not disaster either. And Resolve, this is going to come in as a 2-2. Take 4. But we're going to have a lot of blockers next turn, right? And we're going to remember to use Icy. every time, like, just gotta be chanting in my head not to forget Icy. Okay. Problem is now Cabal Paladin maybe just kills us in a variety of ways. If we In Bolus's Clutches, that's just not going to do it though, right? So we In Bolus's Clutches, we have 8 mana available, we steal like Cabal Paladin, play Chronicler, die, tap something down, die. So, yeah, I can't really do that. Let's play our Chronicler, and play our Journey Mage. in the correct order for a little bit of value. Not a huge deal, but a little bit. And yeah, still rely on Icy Manipulator. And hope they just don't have a Historic card. If they do, there's nothing we can do about it. You guys have to let me know. I mean, we were definitely kind of behind from the start given our opening hand, and maybe that should have been a mulligan. Okay, search your library for 2 cards. It's one to the graveyard, one on top. Final Printing's not terrifying on its own, but again, any historic card, I think we have to steal Cabal Paladin this next turn. Because if I'm my opponent, I'm just saying, oh, I just grab like Jousting Lance, and odds are I just win next turn. Jousting Lance actually would be not terrible for my opponent in general, but I guess it's not great against Icy. The opponent just put a land into the graveyard, not trying to get any synergies there. We're not going to pass through combat. Problem is, a lot of times I pass through combat because they have cast like a spell. No play. Okay, so we now have 9 mana, so we could play Gitu Journey Mage plus Inbolus's Clutches, or we can keep up Manipulator. I think just getting something on battlefield is better. Don't want to use up all of our red, though, which it looks like Inbolus's Clutches was going to try and do. I guess maybe I should have tapped down something else, because I would have been happy trading up with the Paladin, and then it would have been untapped on my turn. But I think that's... yeah, I guess that was a minor misplay. No attacks. We'll crack Memorial of Genius next turn. Oh, alright. Well, dead in a different direction. Alright. So, we did get pretty handled that game. We were just starting to stabilize, but a little bit too late. But I think we are not in a bad spot. We can bring in a couple of Keldon Warcallers, and that will help shore us up in the early game. Maybe cut Arcane Flight. I'm not sure that's something we would necessarily need. It was a pretty dead hand, or a pretty dead card in our hand that game. What else do we want to cut? Let's see, just cutting the Snapper. Snapper feels like it would just be such a good top-end blocker, though. And maybe cut like a Journey Mage. Keldon Warcaller just better, although this brings us up to 6 2-drops. Maybe that's overkill anyway. Okay, let's just bring in 1 Warcaller at the expense of Arcane Flight. Seems good. So being it down a game never feels good, certainly. Like, we're one bad hand away from another loss, but we'll keep this. Don't have any red, which is unfortunate. 2 Deep Freeze does stall a little bit. Divination helps us recharge. And we're on the play. All of which I think make this an okay hand. That mono blue, though. Okay, Keldon Warcaller. A good draw if we could play it, but fortunately our lands were not quite as cooperative as we want. So I guess the dream is just Tempest Gen next turn, right? Okay, play another Skin Witch. Unkicked. Island is probably our worst draw. I think I'm just going to Divinate here and try and find red. Don't really think we need to Deep Freeze that. Okay, we did find a mountain. Well, Water Snapper might be our top-end finisher here. Again, Demonic Vigor I think I'm okay with. We could just Deep Freeze now. The 2-for-1, it's still, like, this card's just not that intimidating, but I guess maybe getting it back later in the game's bad. On the other hand, Deep Freeze to sacrifice would be kind of awkward with all of that involved. We could just play the Chronicler and wait, although getting like Divination back later with Chronicler seems good. We're going to have the lands for it. So yeah, I think I might just Deep Freeze. They do have a Vicious Offering in their deck, which means at some point they can probably get value off the Skin Witch, but not against the Cold Water Snapper at least. The Dream. Cold Water Snapper is too strong. I guess we should opt first in case that changes anything. It is instant, but I'm actually in the market for something other than Keldon Warcaller if we get something better. Or just playing a Servant. Seems okay too. Okay, and now next turn we can Kichu Chronicler, get back a Divination. Or we can Cold Water Snapper. I guess we'll probably Snapper first. This card actually can't swing through the Skin Witch right now, which is kind of funny, but... okay, Vicious Offering, fair enough. Oh wow, choosing not to sack. Interesting. I mean, they have another one in hand. It's not the only reason I can think of why you wouldn't. Alright. They do have one Run Amok in their hand, which means Cabal Paladin potentially swings past the Snapper. But I guess we could double block and that's not too bad. Yeah, we're just gonna play Snapper here. No attack. My opponent is incredibly stuck on mana here, which they've had a fairly good draw despite it. But I think that's the only reason we're at as healthy a life total as we are. Okay, another Demonic Vigor. I don't really want to trade that away. I think I might just Deep Freeze again. I guess we'll just take it. Well, it's 5 damage. Snapper just seems so nice, though. On the other hand, Deep Freeze might get rid of, like, a flyer later. It just feels like such a bad trade. Trading such a bad card for such a relatively good one. But, yeah, I think it's probably correct. Okay. So, they got a Cabal Paladin back. Umbra, which is not bad. Let's play our Chronicler. Kick it. Alright. It feels good when you're trying to cast multiple divinations, though. Sometimes it feels like we're a little bit behind this game, but I think it's partially because my opponent just has not been able to find lands, and that means that we've drawn a lot of lands and they kind of haven't. See, I don't know why it taps this way anymore. There we go. Like, it wanted to tap out, like, all of our blue there, which is not what I want. Not what I want at all. Excavator will play, and then Journey Mage follow up. And really we're looking for, like, Varix would just be fantastic. Probably our best draw. Cloudreader Sphinx would be very good. Just one of kind of our top-end cards. Okay. My opponent does have access to red now, which probably unlock the rest of their hand. Okay. Journey Mage getting just a little bit of value off the Skin Witch, even though it's an icy Skin Witch, I guess they still find some camaraderie there. Okay. Opt is fine. Again, just gonna cast a main phase here. Syncopate. It's maybe nice to just deal with something really important my opponent has. I think I'm actually gonna top that. It's not actually an answer, but it answers an answer. We could... I don't really feel like we have good attacks, and not gonna use Deep Freeze just to kill off something that really can't attack us very well. Yeah, I mean, you know you're doing it when you were on the play, and you're still, like, 5 cards deeper into your deck than your opponent is. The dream. 2 ops and 2 divinates later. Ooh, Fire Fist Adept. That's actually pretty good. What would they kill? Medium-sized? Probably the Journey Mage. And they swing. We don't... They, like, double block, take 3. Then they have a Fire Fist Adept in play, too. I think this actually might be worthy of the Syncopate. I guess you don't need to do it all. They can't pay 2, so just a 2. Cool. Well, I didn't think I was going to have to use the Syncopate quite that quickly, and maybe I didn't need to there. If they drop like a huge bomb farther down the line, I'll be unhappy about that. Cloudreader Sphinx, one of the draws we were hoping for. Hopefully it'll dig us towards like Varix. Do we want Memorial to Genius? It is a Divinate in disguise. I think that it comes in tabs, just going to be kind of slow. I'm just going to take whatever's on top here. And, yeah, still no fantastic attacks. The Sphinx will get to start getting in over the next turn, though. My opponent is staring down a whole lot of 1/3s. They have removal. It's very possible the Sphinx bites the dust. Okay, that's fine with me. So how do we play around, like, combat tricks best? We've got, like, Run Amok. Can we play around that really at all? Not really. But I guess they're going to want to Run Amok like Cabal Paladin, probably, in which case we're doing something like this is best. Well, Take Servant, I think, is actually our best remaining card. So let's do something like that. Just because this does synergize if we find Icy. Okay, opponent chose not to do anything. I think if you had Run Amok, you'd use it there, but why make that attack? Oh, okay, for Garna. Okay. I say, why make that attack now? That's because they're going to get some good value out of it. Ooh, I don't hate Haphazard Bombardment. Don't really want to shoot Skin Witch. Should we wait a turn? Try and hit some other stuff? Our lands don't matter too much. Probably going to replay both of those if I can. We could just Goblin Barrage Garna and wait on Haphazard Bombardment. I think that's actually not terrible. So we'll deal 4 to Garna. That'll keep my opponent from having like hasty attacks next turn, as well as just a 3/3. That was a pretty good value play for my opponent, though. Okay, and we'll swing with our Cloud Reader Sphinx. The Sphinx rises. Hey, in only 6 turns my opponent loses. Like, we're not doing that bad, right? Never mind the fact that they're gonna come in and burn us away a little bit. Memorial War, I think, is just gotta be the worst of the Memorials by a decent margin. I think it's the only one I wouldn't play in my deck most of the time. Like, it just doesn't do anything against us. It blows up 1 random land. Okay. And it came in tapped. Ooh. Skin Witch gets us good. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Pretty solid there. Yeah, that would have been pretty good regardless what we done last turn, but yeah, that was powerful. Not much to do. We are in full top deck mode now. Okay, Journey Mage for that little bit of extra value. And did not choose to play the Cabal Paladin, which is kind of interesting. Maybe they have Fungal something or other. -2/-2, Vicious Offering. Oh, Blessing of Bells and Lock. Okay, sure. Okay, Icy's great. One of the best draws we can have. This is just gonna be able to machine gun down some cards on our opponent's side. Still gonna swing at the Sphinx. Gotta win at some point, right? So there's no real reason in tapping anything at this point, I guess. So Voltaic Servant really only allows it to be used offensively, but still offensively is not bad. We can tap down the Journey Mage and block. And Sphinxes, I mean, I said Sphinx is lethal 3 turns ago in 6 turns, so we're down to 3 turns for Sphinx lethal. Okay, Cabal Paladin is fine. And let's tap down my opponent's Journey Mage. It's the beginning of your end step only. Ooh, Chronicler. Getting back Vicious Offering, I have to imagine. Oh no, they didn't have double red. Oh, and we've got Barracks. Okay, that should seal up the game, I imagine. Yeah. Barracks is pretty good. Yeah, let's go ahead and attack with our Cloud Reader Sphinx. Next turn we can still Icy something away, but now we have 2 lethal flyers. Yeah, okay. So it took us a little while. We did find our bombs though, and I think we're gonna be able to finish this game off. Just cluttered up the board for too long for my opponent to really effectively get through. Yeah, not being able to play the Chronicler for value was rough though. Okay. You guys need to be proud of me. I've used this Icy Manipulator to its fullest here. I've not yet missed a trigger. Means I probably jinxed myself, but that's okay. It's okay. What could they have? I don't think they can just do enough damage. I think we just want to make sure we have 3 lethal attackers. We're just gonna take this. Like, I don't realistically see them killing us from 11. Yeah, okay. My opponent sees the writing on the wall here. Do we want to change anything? Arcane Flight for the Snapper. Anything been unimpressive? I think I do need all of our, like, cheap interactive cards. Yeah, we just kind of have to keep digging until we find one of our big flyers. Yeah, this is very much a control deck, so I don't think we're actually going to change too much around. I think the deck's been performing fine. Sure, let's jump back in. And a perfectly serviceable opening hand. Let's go ahead and keep. We may have to play the Chronicler just as a 2-drop here, which is never my favorite. But with 2 in hand, that actually makes it a little bit better, too. Go ahead and opt on my opponent's end step. Oh, divest. Okay, so I guess we'll let them do this first so they can't actually hit opt. Choose an artifact or creature card. They actually kind of missed here. It's nice. I mean, they're not actually going to miss. They're going to get like a Chronicler or a Journey Mage, but... Okay. Journey Mage bites the dust. I think I agree with that. Just if nothing else, it gives us a little bit less options. Ooh, Manipulator off the top. I do want to find land pretty badly. Manipulator's pretty good, though. I think I need to put it on bottom, though. I think we just need lands. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. You guys will let me know if you think that's correct or not. They do know about Syncopate, so they're not just going to play into it. But we're on the board. We have value with Weight of Memory and Embolus's Clutches. Like, my opponent's not getting value off their Journey Mage. Do we just play another Chronicler? I think we kind of do. If they swing, we might just take it. I'm not sure that we would recover incredibly well from a Rampage. I'll play something pre-combat. Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough. So we are definitely going to take this, no blocks. And we're taking some damage. We're going to have to find an answer to this before too long. Okay, Cloudreader Sphinx is quite good. You still need to find another land, ideally a blue land. I guess we should swing, because I don't think there's any way we're attacking. Or any way that we're going to be able to block. And we'll just plan on syncopating pretty much anything my opponent plays here. Come on, land. I do think putting Icy on the bottom was correct. So we can syncopate that. It's unfortunate, because they can take the Cloud Sphinx. Yeah. Alright. Can't do anything about it. Rest in peace, Sphinx. Rest in peace, sweet Sphinx. So now we really need to draw an island for Weight of Memory. And eventually in Embolus's Clutches. Ooh, is it getting scary? Land? Island specifically? Ugh. Yeah, okay. Skin Witch, rest in peace. I think we just need to be mana efficient given what we've got in our hand. And Skin Witch has the potential to come back later through Demonic Vigor annoyances. Oh, genius deck. Thank you so much. So we're going to target ourselves. We do draw through a lot of cards, so the self-mill is maybe not completely negligible. Oh no, Coldwater Snapper. At least we didn't mill Barracks, though. Still gonna attack with both. Not. What if they have a hasty creature? Maybe we should swing with one. If they have, like, the Lava Runner, maybe we shouldn't even attack with one. So we can Embolus's Clutches, the Journey Mage next turn, which may just be the Lion. We're still at 12. I mean, we've taken some hits from the Journey Mage. We can go down to 8 here. This is not a high life total, but we are entering the late game, too. We are entering the time when we're at our best. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that, and then next turn I might just follow up with, like, Haphazard Bombardment on all their lands. Alternatively, we could play Goblin Barrage plus Warcaller. They get to replay the Journey Mage, but I think that's not terrible. We could also just Haphazard Bombardment and hit their lands and it. I think we need to get this off the table for sure this turn. The damage is just too much otherwise. Yeah, see, why does that want to tap my mountains? Causing me all sorts of problems. Okay, so let's Goblin Barrage. Okay. That takes care of Demonic Vigor. Gives us a fairly good, like, tempo play. We can play the Keldon Warcaller and swing with both Chroniclers. And we have 2 quite good cards in hand, and they cannot play Skin Witch this next turn. I think we're kind of ideally hoping for just, yeah, another Journey Mage play. Another land. Okay, let's play Haphazard Bombardment. I think we are going to target the Journey Mage as one of the options. Heavier red or black. Honestly, what can I remember? They have a couple of G2 Journey or Chroniclers, so maybe something like that. Maybe we shouldn't have targeted the Journey Mage, because we'd like to just trade off the Warcaller anyway, and that gives us 1 less value. Yeah, that was probably bad. Alright. No attacks. If the haphazard bombardment hits exactly the Journey Mage, we're happy, but yeah, I should have just shot another land. It's still gonna be pretty good though here. I think it's gonna hold my opponent off from playing anything really relevant for a couple turns. Okay, yeah, they should definitely swing here. We're gonna double block with our Chroniclers. They want to use a trick here that keeps the Journey Mage alive. It's actually not terrible because it gives us another shot at haphazard bombardment. Yeah. The opponent gets to kill both. Doesn't actually do any damage to us though. Okay, let's opt. Always down for an opt. Gonna put that on the bottom for sure. Ooh, a deep freeze. We're still just waiting. Yeah. Let the bombardment get its maximum value. Yay, killed the Journey Mage. Alright. So we were genius after all. And now we're just hoping it hits the last mountain. Ooh, Skizix. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Okay. My opponent did not kick it. I wonder if we should block, actually. Just save ourselves, too. Maybe that puts us in lethal, or range of lethal for a lot of things. That was bad. I think we should have blocked. Yeah, our life total is more important. Okay, well. It is what it is. Come on, hit the mountain. Mountain, mountain. Nice. It's not much less likely to be able to burn us out. If they have, like, Wizard's Lightning, then we have to find it. Skittering Surveyor. Finding a mountain. Not real surprisingly. Oh, man, I hope we don't lose because of that. I'm feeling such sadness. I guess we'll hold a land in case Skin Witch comes along. I don't think we need anything. Oh, actually, I guess one more point of damage is relevant for the Jinn, though. Okay. Oh, please don't punish me. I should have blocked with the War Caller. Not poor damage to the face. No Goblin Barrage. Oh. Final Parting means that if there's anything in their deck that kills us, they can kill us. We don't get to know what it is, though. If we hit a island, we get to try and go for lethal. Again, I'm not sure why it's not splitting up our lands a little bit more evenly. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we've got lethal on board, so I guess we should in-Bolus's Clutches and just go, right? Okay. In-Bolus's Clutches, the Skittering Surveyor. The dream! Okay. So we did not get punished even if my opponent had something. Oh, that was close. Ooh. Haphazard Bombardment did a really, really good job for us. Oh, man, my heart. My heart. Oh, man, you guys, my heart. Okay, cool. We are to our first victory. So, one thing that did change with me drafting on Magic Arena instead of Magic Online is there's the potential for this to go all the way up to, I guess this is 5 wins, could be as many as 6 games one way or the other, which is a lot compared to what it's been for previous series where the most you could see is 3 matches. So what that means is I might cut some matches if it looks like it's not a very close game, not very interesting to see, just to keep the length down to like an hour and a half or so, which is kind of where I would like the videos to be. I know that one of the most exciting parts of any draft is the draft portion, and I think the matches have some diminishing returns for too many. So let me know what you guys think about that. It's very, very possible we'll cut some next matches. I'll try to say my record at the beginning of each match just so you guys can kind of keep up and follow along, and hopefully that means that the content you guys get to see is just a little bit better, and maybe that will mean that it's a little bit less predictable how the matches shake out. Yeah, well, like I said, let me know what you guys think. If you want to see the whole videos, maybe I can do that too. That is a lot of extra editing, so we'll see. But for now, let's go on to match 2. Alright. Ooh. I think my opponent was so close. That's probably one of the first times in the format that in-Bolus's Clutches has stolen a Skittering Surveyor, though. Pretty funny. Alright. Looks like we've got a worthy opponent here in Digos Boya? Exclamation mark. That's probably something not in English that I do not understand. Let me know if you guys got the translation. It's a very, I don't know, happy-looking phrase. Maybe it's just the exclamation mark. We're gonna keep this. It's another 5-land hand, which I don't love, but Opt makes it a little bit better, and we do have a turn 3 play instead of just having, like, turn 5 plays, so I think this is fine. We have all of our colors of mana, even if we're skewing heavier on mountains than islands, which is the opposite direction of what we want. It's still gonna be okay. Yeah, my opponent mulligan down to 6, it looks like. Blink of an Eye was a good draw. And we're just gonna, again, Opt at the end of my opponent's turn. Ooh, so black-green is generally Saprolings, right? Which I do think has the potential to be one of the best decks in the format. Okay, let's Opt. In Bolus's Clutches. Interesting. Yeah, I think I'm actually okay with this. This is really, really high power level. It's not something we're playing immediately, but we have some early interaction. I'm not sure we need to. We can maybe argue they're supposed to be digging for islands for Blink of an Eye, but there's an island, so... Alright, so this next turn we'll play Gitu Journey Mage with no value, but that's okay. Just as a 3-2. Ooh, my opponent hasn't played anything yet either. Chronicler eventually might get back like an Opt. We do have the lands for it already, so that's nice. Opt is definitely more valuable than playing off curve and getting like 2 points of burn in. Opponent might play like a Vicious Offering or something. If I'm my opponent, I'm looking at our hand and saying, oh man, this is like the aggressive blue-red Wizards deck. So even though we're not playing that way, it might cause my opponent to play like defensively. Like if I had a Sapling Migration in hand, I would use it. Or yeah, or Vicious Offering on the Journey Mage here. Looks like the auto tap gave him no green. Just maybe worth considering. Okay, so I think getting the Diligent Excavator into play is better than keeping up Blink of an Eye. If we need Blink of an Eye, we can always use it. For now, let's just play an Excavator. My opponent's had a quite slow draw, which means they probably got some powerful top end. Which hopefully means that In Bolus's Clutches will do some good value. Skin Witch. Sure. So again, I think that's a play that if my opponent knew our full deck, they may not go for, but since they don't, it's our advantage. Okay, so we will probably cast in Blink of an Eye on something this turn. I guess maybe we won't. Okay. Guess we could do it on our own Excavator. Probably we'll just pass, though. I was going to say it's kind of nice to get it back with the Chronicler, but if we're just getting back Opt, that's not the end of the world. Okay. Opponent pitched a Sap Herd, which means I imagine they drew some pretty good stuff. Looks like they took him a Royalty Unity. Probably has some Devil Green that they care about then. Some very loud noise animation. Alright. Go, Chronicler. Return us and Opt. No attacks. So if they play something really scary in Bolus's Clutches, we'll steal it. If they play something medium scary, we might Blink of an Eye. If they play Llanowar Elves, I'm confused. Stronghold Confessor. Okay. Confessor is solid. Snapper is probably better. Let's Opt first. I don't think there's anything that's going to change our line with the Snapper, but... Ooh, Haphazard Bombardment actually might. Probably not. Well, Bombardment's nice. Let's go with top to that. I think we're probably just still going to play the Snapper, because I want to be able to block the Stronghold Confessor. Oh, that's true. I still have a... whatever it's called, the Arcane Flight in the deck, which I probably should have pulled out, but I forgot to change the deck. That has some upside now, though, since we have the Snapper in play. Primordial Worm. That's a big one. So we could just In Bolus's Clutches that. We could Blink of an Eye, or we could Haphazard Bombardment. I think we just In Bolus's Clutches it, and hope they don't have something even bigger. If they do, it's possible to still have just enough of a tempo advantage with like Blink of an Eye that it won't matter. Sure. And if we take it now, we can get in with our Snapper, which is some upside. Yeah, we're still just gonna mill us. Land and a Chronicler. Go to attacks. Get him, Snappy. So cute. I love when turtles are good. Long-time viewers will know that I actually have a Russian tortoise of my own, whose name is Scoot, and he is adorable. He's actually under my desk right now. So this is basically Scoot's just like primordial brother here. In fact, he's doing his very, very best to dig into our, skin witch. Into the computer cords. So hopefully this doesn't disconnect. Skin witch is so annoying. So we could Weight of Memory because that refuels us best. We could keep Blink of an Eye because it's the best answer, or we could Haphazard because it gives us the most value. I think I'm going to Weight of Memory. On the other hand, like, Haphazard Bombardment might just be one of the best cards we're finding anyway. I think I'm going to Weight of Memory. I think that 3 cards is going to be better than the average for those. Icy's not bad either. Let's go to combat. We are beating down pretty aggressively here. Okay. I guess that's true. The Snapper wasn't actually a great draw if they swing in with everything. So maybe I should have played Icy and tapped something down. Yeah, that was a little bit bad. Okay, well, we'll trade for the Confessor, but that will cost us some. Weight of Memory over the Icy here. I don't think we really need to tap anything down on defense. Still gonna mill us at a healthy life total. Oh man, we had Arcane Flight. Oh man, we got super punished. That's okay. Let's play our Journey Mage. We're gonna hold a land this time, in case there's yet more Skin Witches. My opponent doesn't have anything. Arcane Flight will still kill them, but it would have been a lot better on the Tortoise. Okay, so assuming this doesn't give them, like, instant value... Interesting if they use the Llanowar Elves. And a Baloth Gorger. Okay. So we should just have lethal then, because they've tapped out. Alright, so our bad attack didn't end up punishing us, fortunately. Yeah, let's get in there with Mr. Primordial. That's Mr. Primordial to you. Nice. Alright. So up 1 game. My opponent had some mana problems. I think Arcane Flight's good in this. Opponent is playing black-green and kind of medium stuff. I don't think we necessarily want like Voltaic Servant or Diligent Excavator. Could maybe play 1 more Divination. Probably play 1 more Snapper. I think that having bigger blockers is just going to be more important against green than having like 1/3s. It's also Jousting Lance still. I think that's our sideboard plan. We still have 40 here, right? And we have like no creatures. Arcane Flight in play. Is Arcane Flight just bad? Of course, now we have 2 Snappers. That's how we're winning the game. Hopefully that doesn't punish us. And maybe we went too light on 1/3s. We'll take too much damage. Because, I mean, they had a fair amount of, like, 1/3s of their own, right? They can get beat down. Yeah. Oof. And this is a hand, isn't it? If we draw 1 island, it's fine. We have to find island. I am going to keep on the draw. This is speculative. We only need to find 1 thing, and if we do, then the hand turns into pretty okay. We are skewed heavier in islands than we are in mountains. We have better than a quarter draw every turn of finding one. Okay, Chronicler, while not being an island, is still not a bad draw. We have a couple of turns before we have to find a... Okay, see? Excellent. Now, very happy with the keep. Divinate doesn't do anything, or doesn't do tons for us right now. Okay, Skittering Surveyor is great. Let's see if my opponent's actually splashing for anything. Nope. Just playing it for the fixing. I can respect that. So we could divinate for just card selection, but I'm just going to play the Chronicler here. And then plan on divinating next turn. Deep Freeze I think is fine. This matchup they might still have a Vicious Offering, which makes it worse, but it's going to answer like the Baloth Gorger fairly cleanly here, which is nice. And answering things like Baloth Gorger is pretty important to keep us alive, so... Okay, 1 Grace Acolyte. a great value card. This is a card that really did not look that impressive to me at the beginning of the format, but something that I'm basically always happy about. Opponent lost Josu Vest, which is either good news or bad news for us, depending if they're like a soul salvage sort of deck. I think we're going to opt plus deep freeze. We can also divinate plus opt and just take 3. Let's see what we find off the opt. Every good turn starts with an opt. Weight of memory. Get more card draw. Yeah, okay. With that in mind, I think deep freeze is the line. Just keep ourselves alive so that we can cast our tons of divinates and weight of memories and everything else. Attacks. We have built a substantial wall for my opponent to hide behind, but we're hoping to kill him with flyers anyway, so. We can go divination, divination next turn. Okay, spider's good. Ooh, it's a scary noise. Barracks is nice. So, Mammoth Spider is a little unfortunate. We would rather deep freeze that, I think, but... so divinate, I guess is more mana efficient, assuming we find a land. If we don't find a land, then divinate's quite a bit worse. So I guess we'll wait a memory. We do want to hit land drops. Still gonna just target ourselves, especially with barracks in hand. Nice. Found a land and haphazard bombardment as well. So it looks like my opponent, oh wow, we pitched 3 islands. Okay. That's good in the long run, bad in the short term. It looks like my opponent is playing something splashed off the mountain. And when they played with Skirting Surveyor, they just were already holding the mountain in hand, I'd have to imagine. Urgross is bad. Blocks. If we find exactly a land, we can barracks. Not quite there. So our option this turn might be like opt plus blink of an eye, try and get up to barracks. Although blink of an eye requires double blue, doesn't it? Good. Divinate. Try and find blue off the top 2. And if we don't, we can still blink of an eye. Okay, I think I like that. Come on, island. Nice. So let's end turn here. I think we do need to blink the Urgross. But then next turn we'll have barracks. Barracks will be able to trade 1/2 away for Urgross, probably. And then hopefully haphazard bombardment can start taking over. Okay. Want to get in with both. Not incredibly surprising. Little blocks. The opponent doesn't want to do anything, which is fine by me. Let us kick her. Rest in peace, Urgross. At least for a turn. Okay. Still hitting our land drops, which is nice. Down to 14. They'll probably just replay Urgross. Yep. Ooh, we also have Goblin Barrage. We could just play that instead. So if we did that, we could play like Gitu Journey Mage plus Opt. Do I want to trade off one of our halves, or is it better to have removal in hand? I guess if we have 2 halves of barracks, we can get past the Mammoth Spider without needing extra. So maybe the Barrage is just our best line. It's 4 damage to a creature. And our follow-up, couldn't decide between Icy and then Gitu and Opt. I think I kind of want to get Icy on the battlefield, but maybe it's less efficient than something else. Although next turn we're playing barracks for sure. Then we kind of want to have Icy in play then, I think. I guess we could have cast Icy and then something else and tapped that down. Maybe that would have been better. Yeah, okay. That actually probably would have been cleaner. Okay. Taking another 3. Mammoth Spider is killing us slowly. Okay, Primordial Worm. And we've got enough to kick Ferrex and keep up Icy Manipulator for the worm. So I think that's exactly what we're going to do here. Alright, Ferrex and Carix. And we will end the turn. Now my opponent probably just doesn't have any good attacks. Again, want to remember to use the Icy Manipulator. Still 14 cards in the deck, so we're not super close to milling. Opponent's still got 3 cards of their own. Okay, Soul Salvage. Ooh, for Josu Vess, which costs 10. My opponent is currently at 8. Okay. So that is a clock. We haven't found our Syncopate yet, right? No. So I guess we need to start looking for that, probably. Also, Haphazard Bombardment, just to blow up like all my opponent's lands, maybe isn't terrible. Let's see, what's the line? Start out with Divinate, right? And then, well, I guess actually, if we want to play Haphazard Bombardment this turn, we can't Divinate. So maybe we opt Haphazard Icy Manipulator. Josephus is a little ways away from being crazy dangerous. So let's opt first. We're really looking for Syncopate at this point, I think. Bottom that, certainly. Their Snapper's not bad. Play our Mountain. We've got 8 mana available. Let's play Bombardment. Keep up Icy Manipulator. And we are going to hit the Mammoth Spider, the Primordial Worm, the Mountain, and 1 Swamp, I guess. And we want to attack. Don't think so. Don't know if we need to. Okay, let's blow something up. Okay. Getting a land is not bad for us, given my opponent's hand. Yeah, this is a cool game. Definitely a grind. Vesuves. Ugh. I actually have not seen this card kicked yet, and I'm hoping it will happen this match. I think I played with it once. I actually haven't seen it in play too many times. I got killed by it once just as a 4/4, which opponent can't be too unhappy about, I'm sure. Okay, opponent had no good attacks. Okay, playing Urderos and passing. So now we've got access to 10 mana, so we can Divinate, Snapper, and Icy. So let's Divinate. Play Snapper. Still think we're just waiting for our Haphazard Bombardment to do its work. Get him, Bombard. Nice, okay. So the spider is out of the way. And my opponent's up to 8 mana. Let's tap down the Primordial Worm. Rage with Varix. Do we want to put 2 in front of it? They had a buff spell, I guess that makes things better. Okay. Means they'll probably kill Varix, that's a slight downside for us, but still works out. Yeah, really the time is our enemy. Ooh, Krosan Druid's nice. That buys them a lot of time. So we can Inbolus his Clutches, a land if we need to. My opponent's still at 8. We swing with both of these. No, that's still not great. So we swing with Carix, play a Coldwater Snapper. We have 4 mana available, play a Journey Mage, play Icy. Alright. We may lose this game, which is impressive given how, controlling I feel like we've been, but sometimes you lose close games. Arcane Flight's actually one of the better draws, I think, too. And we will end the turn. Come on. Okay, that's not bad. That means that the Coldwater Snappers can probably start getting in. Sap Herd. Okay, and they still haven't hit a land. They get a 1/1. We're going to use... Ooh, Eviscerate. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. Yep, can't do anything about it. We use Icy, tap down a Confessor. Okay, what can we get back with Journey Mage? Goblin Barrage, or our Chronicler, rather. So they're still not quite to the point where we are in trouble. We swing with our Coldwater Snappers. My opponent makes some impressive multi-blocks. So I guess maybe we Journey or Chronicler, get back Blink of an Eye. That'll probably make blocks hard for my opponent. Okay. And I guess let's just kind of swing. 2 cold water snappers coming in. My opponent's got a lot of beef. We can stall my opponent off Josuves for a couple of turns. But we have lost a lot of our value. The opponent's just chump blocking one of them. Let's play G2 Journey Mage. And end the turn with Icy up. Okay, it's up to 9 now, so tantalizingly close. Tap down my opponent's Confessor. Oh, nice. Okay, Syncopate makes me much more likely to win this game. Okay, so let's go ahead and swing with our 2 snappers. Okay, we found it. We don't have too many cards left in the deck. Wonder we should be swinging with the Journey Mage. Well, yeah, it's not great as long as I have the 0/4s. Alright, snappers to the victory. Okay. Don't think we actually want to crack Memorial Genius at this point. I think it's possible we're going to need to stall as long as possible so we don't mill. Okay, we should use Icy Manipulator, certainly. Tap down with the Confessor. My opponent has to play Josuves if they've got it. They really can't afford to try and play around it. We need to play around Skin Witch, which means we probably shouldn't crack too much. So maybe we shouldn't be playing more lands. Okay, so we'll hold on to that, I think. We'll swing with the Snappers and the Journey Mage. Alright. I think we still got a pretty solid handle on the board. Josuves is scary, but we do have the clean answer. This is what I mean by Snapper just being a solid card. Like, this has been one of the best finishers in our deck. There are definitely like more powerful, better cards out there, but Snapper just does such a good job of like threatening your opponent. And if you don't have another good finisher, Snapper is, I think, kind of what you want. Alright, let's end the turn. Spore Swarm is fine. Buys my opponent some more time. Okay. I'm clicking through phases pretty slowly here. My opponent knows about Blink of an Eye. I can't remember if they know about anything else. Oh, oops, I missed the Icy Manipulator. Ugh, I knew I was going to miss that at some point. Alright. Okay. Still just going to hold lands. Let's swing with our snappers. I wonder if I should Convulsus Clutches the Stronghold Confessor at this point. Maybe I should. I'm a little bit worried we're gonna mill ourselves. My opponent keeps playing, like, blockers, too. Since we haven't found the Arcane Flight. Yeah, maybe I do at this point. Alright, we're gonna take the Confessor. It's mine. And that'll speed up our clock a fair amount. So the dream is next turn my opponent finds a land, plays Josuves, we Syncopate. We Icy Manipulator that down, swing for like 15. Oh, Garna. Garna doesn't actually do much right now. Although my opponent's gonna maybe try and get a bunch of Hasty Knights. It's kind of interesting. It's pretty obvious we have something. We've been holding like priority after every single action. But again, I don't think my opponent can play around it either. Okay. Tempest Djinn is a good draw. Probably actually still don't want to play the islands. Go to combat though. Keep the 2 Chroniclers back is probably still okay. What are we at? 3 cards in the deck? I guess we can maybe swing with everything. My opponent may be sitting over there thinking, like, why can't I just find that 1 extra land? But we do have the answer. Ancient Animus. So it just kills that. Do we actually care all that much? We could Blink of an Eye, bounce the Garna. My opponent just replays Garna. Tap it down. I think the Stronghold Confessor is actually important to keep. We're not going to draw a card. Resolves. Opponent does not choose to block. Okay, there we go. Resolve. We'll tap down Garna. Hit for blockers. Although actually, maybe letting Garna just eat like a Chronicler would have been better there. Okay. Ooh, yeah. I don't know. I'm playing this pretty cautiously, but we want to win. Let's play our Tempest Djinn. We'll still have Syncopate up. We don't want to play all of our lands still, because if they find a Skin Witch, we need to keep Syncopate. Alright, they've got Josuves. We've got the Syncopate. Unable to pay 1 mana. The ultimate tragedy. Alright, and that should wrap things up for my opponent. That was good. I mean, I definitely can't blame them for holding out there, because if we didn't have an answer, that even as far down as they were on board, Josuves can't dig you out of it. Ooh, man, that was a close game, too. I think I'm going to want to show both of these. And maybe it'll end up being a long series. Well, 2-0, happy for that, and I guess let's go to match 3. Okay, so we are 4-1 now. Not sure if either of the last 2 matches are going to make the final cut or not. Our third match was a pretty easy victory. Our opponent mulliganed down to 6, and then like only hit 2 land drops, and then kept a 7-card hand, but also only hit 2 land drops, and just kind of ran over him. The next game was better. It was pretty grindy. There were some good moments in that, so I could see posting it if we need another match, or not if we find something a little bit better. There wasn't anything that was super over the top, but we did lose that one for sure. Thorn Elemental really is the thing that got us. We just did not have a good answer in the deck. Yeah, I mean, we'll keep. This isn't a great hand. Need to find red. Well, this hand could do nothing. I feel like Arcane Flight should be a sideboard card. I've had it in my opening hand in a lot of match ones and never been happy with it. If we find red, this hand becomes quite good. If we find lots more like blue, it's still okay. Okay, opponent starting off with a Forest. No Llanowar Elves, though, which is nice. Llanowar Elves is the most terrifying turn 1 play in the format. Pretty sure. Basically Ancestral Recall. Okay, red-green. My opponent paused there for a minute. So might be that they had something that could play. A little bit interesting. I think if you had something, you pretty much always play it on turn 2, unless you're blue and are maybe holding up counter magic. We may divinate just to find lands this next turn, even though it's not actually going to be card advantage, it's just going to be card selection. If we find like a mountain, we'll play the Journey Mage for sure. But yeah, my Sapherd, great card. One of the best green commons. Okay. We could just play Memorial to Genius. Finding one more land. It's a tap land. Okay. That might be greedy. We maybe should be divinating here. We're putting a lot of faith in Cloud Reader Sphinx and Coldwater Snapper to turn the tide in the late game here. Okay, Balance Scourger is big. Probably just blink of an eye at that and hope to find land still. Ugh. Yeah, we are stuck on blue. I have to imagine my opponent's just gonna get in with everything. And, I mean, we could kick this a bunch of times. Look at all this blue. Look at all this blue. Come on, give us a mountain. Mountain off the top. Almost. Tempest Djinn's actually pretty good. We'll answer like Baloth Gorger if we need it to. Alar, interesting. Slightly less mana efficient. Did not find another land. Yeah, okay. Tempest Djinn. I think that is our best play. We could Arcane Flight to maybe get out of range of like Hallar Swing next turn, but or a kicked Sheevan Fire, perhaps, or that. I'm glad we didn't play the Arcane Flight at least. Okay, well, this might be a pretty fast game 1, unfortunately. pretty fast. We kept a pretty miserly hand and might be being punished. And made kind of like the most miserly choices all along the line. We're taking like 8 here. Yeah, this game's over, I think. Haphazard bombardment. Don't do much to it. Is there any way for us to get out of this? Yes, we're technically not. No, it's trampling. I guess we can divinate. I don't think that's going to do anything, though. Alright. Good game, good game. Crushed. Well, that's unfortunate. If our last match is super fast... I don't want our last match to be super fast. I want a good, clean game. I think we are gonna... Arcane Flight... It felt kind of fast. A little bit hard to say for sure. Maybe let's bring in a War Caller. And just, that's as far defensively as we'll go. Alright. We didn't have a great draw. It's possible that in a more, like, even setting, we'll just be able to get the victory anyway. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we'll keep... It's again a little bit slow. We have a lot of 1/3s in the deck that we could draw. Barracks is quite good, might be able to finish off the game. And we can divinate kind of along the way to find us there. Since we're on the play, we're always going to get value from it too. Okay, my opponent considered for a while, but then kept a 7-card hand. So it might be that they're kind of borderline, maybe need a couple extra lands, or a little bit too land heavy. Alright. Well, starting off with a mountain. Okay, that's not a bad draw. Give us something to do with our mana just a little bit in this early turn. Hopefully maybe find us another red mana for Barracks. Yeah, I don't know, my opponent's considering each of their plays a lot, it feels like. Feels like Elflame Druid would be a pretty, like, slam dunk, you just play it. We're gonna put another island on the bottom. Another island all the same. And another island. Okay, we're gonna play mountain this time, and we will divinate. Yeah, still no double red for Barracks quite yet. Haphazard bombardment is on its way. We're a little bit heavier on lands than we would like, though, I have to admit. My opponent just plays a, like, good 4-drop Ballast Gorger or something. We might be in trouble. Elflame Druid is definitely at its best in this deck. It looks like my opponent might be ramping up for something big. LR. Okay. Inbolus's clutches I think will probably be good this matchup in general. We're just gonna blink of an eye away the Hauler, I think. Buy us a little bit of time, draw us another card, continue pushing us farther and farther towards Haphazard Bombardment on the top end. So my opponent could play a kicked Baloth Gorger this turn. That's scary. Shield of the Realm. Alright. Well, I've been thinking my opponent's deck's really impressive. I don't like Shield of the Realm much, though. It's like +2 toughness, kind of. I guess it's better than that, but... Sure. Yeah, it's like a confusing version of +2 toughness. I'm gonna get in here. It's like, first gonna cast Blink of an Eye and bounce it. Weird that it always makes like the first weird noise. Okay, Goblin Barrage, a good draw. Alright, we'll take one from Llanowar, and hopefully they just don't have a good follow-up. My opponent did walk into a Blink of an Eye fairly badly there, since they're not going to be able to replay the Hauler. They played Shield of the Realm pre-combat, attacked with the Llanowar Elves. They've got a lot of tempo edge out of that. I'm not using a timeout. Maybe there are like connection issues. Maybe that's why they're taking so long on individual plays. That seems not impossible. I guess let's play an island. And I guess we're just gonna opt. We could like deep freeze the Elflame Druid. We need to though. I think I'd just rather take away like good answers my opponent could have at this point. Or good threats, rather than trying to deal with the mana ramp. They have a lot of lands already over there. Again, I think if they had like Baloth Gorger, they probably would have gone for it last turn instead of just playing The weird Shield of the Realm. Ooh. Multani. Ugh. Well, actually, I guess Deep Freeze answers that fairly cleanly. Okay. I was gonna say, yeah, Multani is just like a nightmare scenario for us. If we draw Syncopate, that'd be good too. I think we just want the Cold Water Snapper, honestly, though. Alright. Yeah, Multani is a scary creature. Do we just Deep Freeze here and keep from taking hundreds of damage? Yeah, I think so. Oh, wait. Do I even want to do that? Cancel. We could Embolus his clutches then. It's bigger and bigger. My opponent answers it. It's a 2-for-1. But yeah, actually stealing this might be good. It's a 6/6 for us. That would be hard for my opponent to actually answer. Alright, Multani, come on over. You're a good buddy of mine. If they can't answer it and bring it back, we can always Deep Freeze, and that will still, like, slow them down a fair amount. Alright. Yeah, that was a better play. I don't know why I was not thinking about Embolus' clutches, but I'm glad we arrived at that conclusion. Varix is probably our play next turn. We may just swing with, like, Multani and cast, like, Goblin Barrage or Deep Freeze to clear the way. Polar's fine. Not nuts, certainly, but fine. Okay, whipping up. Okay, Syncopate's not a bad draw, so there's no real reason not to swing at this card, right? Especially with Syncopate in hand, although I can't really think of what my opponent would do with just green. Get him, Multani. Ugh, Bolus is awfully nasty. Stealing, like, the heart of the world or something. I don't even know what Multani's flavor is. Super Tree Man. Okay. Yeah, let's cast Varix for Kicked Varix. So we have 3 legendary mythics on our side of the battlefield. Seems solid. And what's my opponent up to? Need a fair amount here. I mean, they have a good, like, powerful bomb of their own. Can't really think of... Oh, okay, Croson Druid. That buys them a lot of time. Makes Holler a little bit bigger. Nice. Okay, that's solid. Yeah, I think we're just gonna take this. My opponent's right to make the attack, but... Okay, and... Now do we just want to play, like, Cold Water Snapper, or do we want to Deep Freeze the Holler? The odds of them having another trick is... Or, sorry, another pump spell is not small. Still have Goblin Barrage. Alright, let's swing with all these guys. 16 damage, my opponent's probably just going to be eating here. And we'll play Deep Freeze. And I guess keep up Syncopate. For 4. And I don't think that actually Cold Water Snapper is all that necessary. I think this will probably be enough to finish the job next turn, and having Syncopate to answer like a removal spell or something might be pretty good. Okay, and that is enough for my opponent. Alright, 1-1. We are on the draw this time, which is unfortunate. I honestly don't know if we want, like, Keldon Warcaller. The thing is, my opponent is just ramping in the first couple of turns. I don't think we're really getting beaten down very often. But the problem is, like, it's all medium-sized threats. The Keldon Warcaller doesn't answer particularly well. We're not winning the beatdown. I think we just kind of have to hope my opponent has a bad draw. It's not what I like. I guess Snapper maybe makes it in. And I guess if we're playing Snapper, we should play Arcane Flight. Maybe just hope my opponent doesn't run us over. Okay. I don't like that. But I don't think my opponent's aggressive, so... let's run this back. Alright, 1-1. See if we can't pick up the match point here. Hope so. Okay. Quite good hand. Let's go ahead and keep. Has some early plays with, like, Divination, some interaction. Might play the Chronicler on time. It depends a little bit on my opponent's play. Would like to find an extra blue source for blink of an eye. I think this is about as good as we can hope for. Okay. Not in love with extra red there, but that's okay. Are we playing Chronicler next turn? Kind of an interesting decision. Elfheim Druid is exactly what my opponent wants to see. We want Chronicler. I guess not. The thing is, then Divinate has to, like, discard. We're almost certainly casting Divinate next turn. Alright, Chronicler, never mind. Would enter the battlefield. Okay. That means we get maximum card advantage out of the Divination. Ugh, there's another Hauler. Alright. Yeah, Icy is a pretty good draw against this opponent, I think. We will Divinate. Okay, Tempest Djinn and an Opt. No attack from us, certainly. And Barracks, if we hold on, it'll be good. Howlers, I think, has the potential to get pretty big pretty fast, though. We are definitely on the back foot tempo-wise. Okay, yeah, Grow from the Ashes. Take 5 from Howler this turn alone. Ugh. Hopefully they just have, like, no more action, and Icy maybe can save us. No blocks. Ouch. So next turn, I think we're probably going to blink of an eye. We find an island, would we play Tempest Djinn? No, I don't think we would. Yeah, and we could play Barracks, but then the problem is that they just have any kicker spell, Howler gets bigger, and then we're in a really embarrassing spot. So I think we blink of an eye, turn after we Icy Manipulator, and plan on tapping down Hauler. Then indefinitely. Okay. Did find another island, so there's no reason not to play the island, because Tempest Djinn does get an advantage. I don't think there's any world where the Chronicler's going to need to block, so might as well get in for one. And yeah, gonna plan on blink of an eyeing Hauler. Oh man. Oh man. Barracks kicked. The nightmare. Do we actually want to get rid of Hauler? It's still a 5/5. It just takes so much damage. I think we have to. Okay. Because Barracks is... Like, we could get rid of Carrix is the main advantage there. And so we get rid of the token permanently. We don't have an answer to Hauler. Oh, and he brought a friend. Okay, yeah. I think we're gonna get our teeth knocked in pretty good this game. Okay. So... Cast Icy Manipulator. Tap down one of them. And then... a couple of turns, play Barracks. Yep, there's Hauler again. My opponent's deck looks pretty nuts. And there's Grow from the Ashes. Gain for yet another point of damage. And pulling some more lands out of my opponent's deck. I mean, this is still like... This is my opponent's turn 6. And they have... 9 lands in play. And just, like... some of the best bombs in the format. Well, I guess one of the best bombs in the format, plus a very good uncommon. Okay, we really need to find an island here, I think, because we need to be able to play Tempest Djinn and have it block, which is not going to be able to. Chronicler would be pretty good value. I think we just need to keep it out to stay alive, though. So we'll play it no value. Plan on trying to triple block the Hauler. Take 4, and then maybe our own Barracks can let us take over. They have like a Sheevan Fire or something here, it's bad. Oh, okay, or Sylvan Awakening. Alright. Thoroughly crushed, thoroughly crushed. Good games, though. Ugh, darn. I felt like we were so close in the 2 games we lost here to, like, just shifting the tide, but not quite enough. Well, hopefully it was fun. We did end up going, I guess, 3-2. A little bit of a shame considering that we took our 3 victories right at the start and then weren't able to clean up. But still, 1,500 gems means that we got our entrance fee back and we got some free packs. So that's all pretty cool. Let's open some packs, guys. All right. Ooh, nice. Multani and a mythic rare wild card. 2 mythic rare. What? Ooh, that was a great set of 10. 2 mythic rare wild cards, a rare wild card Multani. Yeah, cool. And then 2 smaller packs. Probably won't go quite as far, but that's alright. Wow, this is almost completely a gray pack for us. I played a lot of Dominaria now. That does mean that the vault's starting to get cracked pretty quickly, which is nice. Ooh, Josubes is a nice one. Yeah, I mean, those 10 packs, I think our vault was almost at 0, so that got us pretty close. We have 3 mythic rares, 6 rares. Yeah, we should be able to put together another sweet constructed deck sometime soon. If you guys have any good suggestions for that, I'd love to see it. I did take a picture. You guys will have to excuse the gross Microsoft Paint here. But you should be able to see the deck while we talk about it just a little bit. I think the deck was pretty good. I think we maybe were missing one more sort of top-end threat in a perfect world, but this was pretty good. Barracks did a great job. Cloudreader, Sphinx, and Bolus' Clutches. Impetuous Bombardment definitely showed its potential. Overall, I really don't think I could complain too much about this deck. A little bit unfortunate that we ended up just going 3-2, because I think this could have gone even better than that. But there were some fun games. It was definitely sweet, the matchup where my opponent was sandbagging for Josubes. And that last game was pretty good too, even though we were just a little bit behind the whole time. So yeah, thanks for watching. You guys are the absolute best. I'll see you guys next time.